Hi everyone, I'm just back to go through the latest journal that I've been working on. And this one is, I'm calling it just a vintage ladies journal. It just has vintage images throughout this journal. The inspiration for the internal embellishing has come from Angie Bunner. You'll find her work on 3 channels that I know of, which is A Tattered Dream, Denise Saiz, The Paper Addiction, I think it's Michelle Mooney, and also Beth Wallen has received some work from Angie Bunner. And so I have, taken inspiration from her beautiful work, and you'll see all that throughout the internal of the journal. So I'm back with the sniffles and the snuffs again, so you'll have to excuse me, and I hope I don't sniff throughout the video because I can't stand it, but we'll see how we go. So I have done the cross stitch on this journal, so there's 2 signatures in here. I didn't intend it to be so chunky, but with all the layering that's gone on the pages, it's quite bursting again. So the closure is just the hitch post and some sari silk. So the Dangle Charm, I've not made this one. I actually purchased this from Suzanne Thomas. Her Etsy shop is Wild Child Treasures, and I will link everything in the description box to where I got everything. There's just a rose on here, a bit of a pearl dangle. We have a little crown. And this here says, keep believing miracles happen. And we have a carriage, love that. And then on the bottom is just that beautiful dangle there. So I'm not very good at making these, so I decided to purchase these. And they're absolutely beautiful. So that just hangs down off the side of the spine. I've left the back of the book plain. So this is an old Reader's Digest book that I've gutted and just sewn those signatures back in. So the image on the front is actually from Google Images, and it's just a vintage lady there by the lake. I thought it was quite pretty. And the inside. So the papers I've used for the inside of this journal is EphemerasGarden, and it's the Love is Chic digital journal kit that I've used. And I've used my stamp that I got from Ebba, and I have forgotten her YouTube channel, so I'm very sorry. I'm a bit of a blank mess at the moment. So thank you. I'm using my stamps. And everything is tea coffee dyed, so I do a tea and coffee mixture. It's not one or the other, it's a combination of the both. I've done a lot of stamping, and I have the Rita Donnelly pocket flips on there. And that's one of the tags, and that's the inspiration from Angie Bunner as well. So it's just laid with some fabric, and I've got a bit of baking paper behind it. The doilies are from A Tattered Dream. And the layaway tag that I've used to alter is from A Tattered Dream as well. And this image is from Tsunami Rose, one of the ephemera packs. So I will link everything to that. And I have actually sewn that part down. I've sewn around the card. And then that's just another tag with "And the Story Begins." And that was the stamp that Sarah Kaiser got for me. They sit in there. I have left some room for journaling, so I've got the doily imprint on there and just some stamping. So every couple of pages are left for journaling. And then I have a library pocket here. Now I can't remember if I got the library pocket from either Daniela Hayes or Christine Taylor in one of the swaps that we did. I can't remember which one it came from, so it was one of those ladies. In here I have just a little booklet, and I made these off of Michelle Mooney, the Paper Addictions YouTube channel. She has a tutorial on how she puts these little booklets together. So I just got some stamping throughout, and I've just stapled a bit of trim onto the back page. These are so quick and simple to make. They're really easy. Goes in there, and then I just have the large tag with some seam binding and fibre, and the image is from Tsunami Rose. And this little paper tag here is one of the tags from A Tattered Dream. And then I've just cut out a bit of a bird cage and just stuck some fibre on it. And it's held down with one of the Tim Holtz paper clips. So I've just altered that. And that's another Angie Bunner inspired project there. Just some flat back pearls and a bit of trim down the bottom. And this page, I've just used some Tim Holtz fabric to make the pocket, and just punched out some flowers from book pages and some baking paper and just layered them. And I've done some little fabric tags from the Tim Holtz tag die kit that Donna Turner purchased for me and sent to me. And then in the pocket, the glassine bags are from A Tattered Dream. And I've just got a collection of old leftover offcuts from the coffee tea dyed paper. That sits in there. And then just the Vintage Lady tag there. You can journal on the back. And it's just got some material and some trim attached to the top of that one. This is going to get a bit hard to flip through after a while. These are from Prima, so it's just a little pocket. And I just have a little tag that I made from the leftover paper and some stamp on it. These little paper clips, I lost one and it ended up going up the vacuum cleaner. These are from Tsunami Rose. Journaling cards, and again it's from Tsunami Rose, the image. And the large tag here are the Victorian Romance tags from EphemerasGarden, and I've just got a craft envelope attached to the end of the page, and I just have some ephemera pieces in here. So these two that I first showed are from Tsunami Rose, and this one is from, I think it's Victoria Designs, this one, and it's just got some lined paper printed on the back. The tuck spot here, so it's just some fabric layered with some flowers and some fibre, and I've used some of the material tags, and underneath is one of the bulb clips from A Tattered Dream, and I've just got a button, a square button attached to it as well. So I don't know if you can see it, but I've used the bulb clips from A Tattered Dream as well throughout here. Just move that. And it's just a tag here with the Vintage Lady and Girl. Some more journaling space. And another fabric tuck with the Vintage Lady. That's from a Tsunami Rose as well. Some trim on the back, and I've just stamped the back with some postcard images. That's from the Love is Chic kit. This image is from Tsunami Rose, and in here we have just a large tag. This is my die cut that I've used to cut that. And you'll find these in A Tattered Dream on the Etsy shop as well. I've just stamped a little cameo head onto there. And then just the doily from A Tattered Dream. And the leaf trim is from A Tattered Dream. And the Vintage Lady image is from Tsunami Rose. That's also some more ephemera from Tsunami Rose. Just backed it onto some of the coffee tea dyed paper. Now I've just put a bit of seam binding and a bit of trim on the edge there. The glassine bag has a tuck spot, and it's just a tag on there for journaling, and a bit of embossing. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a bird cage. You can journal on there. And this image here is just from Google. Some flat back pearls and some more of the trim. More stamping and journal space. So this is towards the centre of the signature. So there's 2 in here. And this is just some old book page that I have done. So this is the centre in here. So the bag is from A Tattered Dream. And I gessoed over the book page, sewed around it, and I've just used my script stamp and stamped all over it, and then just popped the vintage lady image onto that. And I've left this side blank. I was going to embellish these bags, but the journal is just bursting, so I've left them because I didn't want to bust the closure or anything. So I've left the bags plain this time round. And just some ephemera pieces that I found on Google. So, and journal on the back of that. And you can journal on the back of that. And I've just popped in a stamp. Things that matter most must never be at the mercy of the things that matter least. Some decoupaging. This oval napkin is again from A Tattered Dream. So I've just decoupaged on the napkin. And this is the centre of the cross stitch signature. So there is no tied off section in this one. It's just all plain stitching. And then some more decoupaging there. And in this pocket I have another one of the booklets. I'll link the tutorial as well to these down in the description box because they were really easy to make. And some more ephemera. I think these are the Victoria Designs ones. And that's some ephemera from Tsunami Rose. See, my brain's mush. And then again, another vintage lady there. The Tsunami Rose ephemera pack for that one. Some more journaling space. And tuck spot just with some lace trim on there. That's from Tsunami Rose. And I've just stamped with a bit of a script stamp. It's a huge stamp. Where is it? It's the stamp that I've been using. It's got all sorts of things. I'll take it out and probably stop the glare. So yeah, I haven't cut it up. I just ink what I need and just press. It's too hard. It's too intricate. It's sort of all woven into one anyway. So that's the stamp that I sometimes use. And this one here, the glassine bag tuck spot. This is an Angie Bunner one, so the tag is just from scrapbook paper, cardstock, and I've just got a bit of washi tape on there and some trim stapled on. And then we have some doilies from A Tattered Dream, and this here is a tag, one of the, I think it's what you call the clothes alteration tags, I think. And I've just stamped on there, and it's just because I've just put a button down here, and I did some die cuts with some tags out of music paper, and I've stuck them down in behind, so everything is stuck down, and there's just some lace trim on the side so the tags don't actually come out. And that's some trim. I actually cut this down in it's this trim here. It's actually this, and I just cut all the tassel parts off and just used a couple of those because it sort of didn't sit right. I thought it looked a bit too much, so I just cut it down. And then this is another idea I got from one of Angie's videos. It's just a manila file folder, a mini one, and I've just sewn around the edges and closed it in, and that's one of the Tsunami Rose digi prints there, and I've not put anything on the back. That's just one of my tags with some stamping. In these moments, time stood still. And that just sits in there on the Tim Holtz paperclip. More journaling space and the doily imprints. This tuck spot here is an Angie banner design. Mine turned out a lot bigger than Angie's. Her little banner was a lot smaller, and I think her circle was a lot bigger as well. I've just altered it to how I wanted it to look, and it's just one of the doilies from A Tattered Dream as well, and the vintage lady image is from Tsunami Rose. That's just backed onto some of the coffee tea dye paper. And just one of the glassine bags from A Tattered Dream and some more of her doilies. And that's just sewn around, so I've used the flap to create another pocket. And that's just some stamping. The stamp here is from Kaiser Craft, and the script stamp is just part of this stamp here. You can journal on the back, and it's got some more there. So that actually sits inside the glassine bag. And then this image here is from Pinterest. And then we have some ephemera pieces from Tsunami Rose. And I've just stapled on some trim onto there, and you can journal on the backs. Oops, skipping pages, that's not allowed. The Love is Chic digi print there, and that's from Tsunami Rose. This here is inspired by Angie Bunner as well. So this is just a book page I've sewn around the edge. I've punched out a music note scalloped from my scallop punch, and it's just layered with some... oh, what do you call that? So I've gone blank again. Anyway, you know what it is. It's that. I've got some sitting around here somewhere. Cheesecloth. That's it. And that is just from my stash little pin that I've had for a while. It's a Kazaz pin. And then in here, this is some retro vintage ledger paper from A Tattered Dream. And Angie Bunner did this decoration, I think, on some of the time record piece fold out that Denise sells as well. So it's just some trim stuck onto it, just some stamping, and just my butterfly punch. And you open it up, and I've done some stamping down the bottom, and then you can journal on those as well. So that goes in there. And then just a tag, just some scrapbook paper, some cardstock, and it's just some seam binding and the bulb clip from A Tattered Dream, and I just dangled a button off of that. And this page here, the image I got from Pinterest, and I have just stuck my image straight to the page, and I believe Angie Bunner stuck hers to a glassine bag and then adhered it to the page, but I've enlarged the image and just stuck it straight to the page. And again, that stamp is just that across the page there, and then just some washi tape, and I stuck it upside down. No, never mind. And that's just some stretchy lace that I've got in my stash. I found it at the thrift store at the start of the year. That sits in there. More journaling space, And this will be the last page of the first signature. And this again is inspired by Angie Bunner, so it's the layaway tags from A Tattered Dream. This is some sari silk on the top and one of the bulb clips from A Tattered Dream, and I think I was gifted this charm probably last year or the year before. It was sitting in my little box, so I've put that on the end, and I've just laid some of the cheesecloth, the doily, some paper flowers from my stash. I've gessoed onto the card, stamped over it, and just put all the layers down. So there's some fabric that's been stamped on as well on the back there. And the vintage image is from Tsunami Rose. Some scrapbook paper on the back just with some stamping. End of the first signature and the start of the first one. So one of the Rita Donnelly flips again. The image is from Tsunami Rose, and that's from Tsunami Rose as well. And I found those in my stash. I bought them at a scrapbooking store, one of the local ones that was closing down here a few years ago. Some more journaling space and some stamping. And this is also an Angie Bunner inspiration. So it's a music sheet pocket, and the doilies from A Tattered Dream. These flashcards, they're the French ones from A Tattered Dream, and I've obviously just cut it off into a banner. And this is the offcut from the music sheet, and I've just created a tag and sewn on some trim on there, and used one of the bulb clips and a button and one of the Tim Holtz die cuts that I have from Donna, and I cut it out into the fabric and stamped it. And it's just got a burgundy paper flower on it. So you will find this actually on one of the videos from Angie Bunner. It's actually on one of the videos, and I liked how that came out, so I thought I'd give it a go. Hers is a bit different because, you know, don't have the same products that Angie has, so it's the similar design, it just looks a lot different. I think Angie's got a butterfly, I think. So here I've just used a glassine bag folded in half, and that's just some music sheet that I've sewn around the edge and just put a bit of a cameo stamp on there, and the same on the back. And then inside is a gem. These are from Tsunami Rose, the library cards. Got a lot of links to put down the bottom. And this image is from Tsunami Rose as well. And then just a tag with some stamping. And they all sit in there. And this is a music sheet pocket. So in the back I've made a tag. I've cut the image out of one of the Tsunami Rose ephemera kits, so a fussy cut around her, and I've used some icicles and some diamond gloss just to enhance the image. I've put some decoupaging with a napkin and a book page, and then I've done some stamping, just a little bit, just a light little stamping over that, and you can journal on the back. That sits in the back. Oh, I forgot to put something in the pocket. Oh, I'll have to come back and put something in. So then it's just some lace trim and the doily, and that image is also from Tsunami Rose. And that also is an Angie Bunner. Hers looks different. I think she has an image on hers. I've just put some stamping on it, and it's just held with the Tim Holtz paper clip. And they're from Tsunami Rose as well. I don't know if my camera is actually focusing too well. And that's also Tsunami Rose. It's another craft envelope attached to the end. And this image is from Pinterest. And then in here I just have another card that I found on Pinterest, and it's backed onto an index card. I've attempted one of Angie's little embellishing things, and I know I've done it wrong because it doesn't feel right to me, but anyway, it's just some pattern that I got from Dolores actually, and I've just folded a few layers and sewn around it and just made a little, so the image is from Tsunami Rose, all of it is from Tsunami Rose, that's just one of my stamps. I think it should have like paper in between the layers, I think, just to make it a bit more sturdy. I've punched out with a die some of the hearts from the pattern paper, and that's just the book page on the back. And I've sewn through the centre of the heart to give you some layers, and just the book page on the back with the stamp. But it feels really cool. I like it. But I might fiddle with that a bit more. And that's just a bit of trim on the envelope part. And I have got some more checks from Ebba. And I've just put a bit of material there, some cheesecloth, and that's just a flower. That's the back of that. And then that's from Tsunami Rose. And the stamp here is, a dream is a wish your heart makes.